Once upon a time, in a quiet, cozy little village, lived two neighbors. On one side lived Mr. Dara, a kind and hard-working farmer, and right next door lived Mr. Vanek, a man whose heart was always a little grumpy and jealous of others. Mr. Dara loved his farm. Every single day, he'd be out in the sunshine, watering his crops, feeding his happy animals. And he always shared whatever he had with his fellow villagers. And you know what? Because he was so kind, good things just seemed to find their way back to him. His plants grew tall and strong, his chickens laid the most beautiful eggs, and everyone in the village simply adored him. But next door, Mr. Vanek would watch from his window with angry, narrowed eyes. "Why is Dara so lucky?" he'd grumble to himself. "His corn is taller, his fruits are juicier. I want everything he has." His heart became heavy and dark, filled with nothing but jealousy. One hot afternoon, a tired old man with a long white beard knocked gently on Mr. Dara's door. "Kind sir," he asked with a weary voice, "may I please rest in the cool shade of your porch for a while?" "Of course. Please, come in," Dara said with a big, warm smile. Without a second thought, he brought the old man a cool glass of water and a bowl of fresh, sweet fruit. He didn't ask for anything in return, he just wanted to help. But this wasn't just any old man. He was a magical spirit, disguised as a simple traveler, here to test the hearts of the villagers. Impressed by Dara's pure kindness, the spirit's eyes twinkled. "For your generosity," he said, his voice now filled with a gentle power, "I will grant you one wish. Ask for anything you desire." Dara thought for a moment. He could have asked for mountains of gold or a giant castle. But instead, he said, "I wish only for a healthy harvest for my farm and for peace and happiness to fill our entire village." The spirit smiled, nodded once, and then, in a shimmer of light, he was gone. The very next morning, something amazing had happened. Mr. Dara's farm was glowing with life. The cornstalks seemed to have grown a foot overnight, the fruit trees were bursting with blossoms, and his cows were giving more creamy milk than ever before. When Mr. Vanek saw this from his window, he was furious. He stomped his foot and shouted, "That old man! He must be magic. If he gave Dara a gift, then he must give me 2 gifts. It's only fair." He was so consumed by his jealousy that he didn't even stop to think. He just ran out of his house and chased after the old man, determined to get more for himself. Finally, down the dusty road, Mr. Vanek caught up to the magical spirit. You granted my neighbor a wish, so you must grant me one too," he demanded, pointing an angry finger. The spirit let out a long, sad sigh. He could see the greed in Vanek's eyes. "Very well," he said, "I will give you anything you ask for. But there is one very important rule. Whatever you receive, your neighbor, Mr. Dara, will receive double." Vanek's face twisted up. He started thinking, "If I wish for a bag of gold," he thought, "Dara will get 2 bags of gold. If I ask for a big new house, Dora will get an even bigger one. I can't let him be happier than me. The thought of his neighbor having more, even if he himself got something wonderful, was unbearable. He hated that idea more than anything. And so, in that moment of pure spite, he made a terrible, awful wish. He looked the spirit right in the eye and said, "I wish for one of my eyes to go blind." The spirit shook his head sadly. The wish was made, and it had to be granted. In an instant, one of Mr. Van Eyck's eyes went dark, and he could no longer see out of it. And at that very same moment, far away on his farm, Mr. Dara felt a strange, warm blessing. His own eyesight, which had been getting a little fuzzy, suddenly became sharper and clearer than ever before. Mr. Van Eyck stumbled home, his heart full of regret and his world half dark. He sat alone in his house, finally realizing the painful truth. His jealousy, his anger, his desire to see his neighbor have less, had only ended up hurting himself. He learned a very important lesson that day. Jealousy doesn't get you what you want. It only takes away your own joy. But kindness, just like Mr. Dara showed, multiplies happiness for everyone. From that day on, Mr. Van Eyck stopped comparing his life to others. He started helping his neighbors and sharing what he had. And slowly, little by little, happiness and light began to return to his own heart.